The foreign minister of Iran is scheduled to travel to Geneva today for diplomacy discussions with UK, German, French leaders as well.
Now, the talks come 1 week after Israel carried out a surprise attack on Iran, hoping to eradicate the country's growing nuclear weapons program. Both nations continue exchanging drone and missile strikes. This week, a hospital in southern Israel was hit by a ballistic missile. On state-run television, Iranian military leaders say they were aiming for a military building, not a hospital. In the meantime, the White House says a decision on whether America will fully intervene likely won't come immediately. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on Thursday read a statement from the president.
Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks.
New billboards have appeared in Israel reading, "Mr. President, finish the job," a message clearly aimed at the U.S. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he is not turning up the pressure, adding President Trump will make the best decision for America. Fox News anchor Shannon Bream with Fox News Sunday joins me now. Good morning to you.
Good to see you, Brandon.
All right, so do we know why the president chose the timeline of 2 weeks?
We don't. You know, that's a timeline he often throws out when he's in the middle of a very difficult decision. It gives him some wiggle room. And you've heard him say, and you heard the press secretary say there, he prefers a diplomatic solution. He's always felt like that'd be a much better road to go than the U.S. getting militarily involved in what's going on in the Middle East. But he's also expressed skepticism. Is Iran stringing him along? It's something you heard Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu say yesterday as well. The president's had real skepticism about, are they just buying time to try to finish building out what they have of their nuclear program, or do they really want to engage in these talks? We know U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff still talking with the foreign minister in Iran, and so we'll see if it bears any fruit. I'm
wondering what kind of support or pushback the president is getting from Congress on a potential intervention by the U.S. What are you hearing? Yeah, and one of our guests this weekend on Fox News Sunday is going to be Senator Tim Kaine, Democrat out of Virginia. This is something he pushed a lot during the first Trump administration. He's back at it with a resolution now that wants to force in some way the White House, the president, to have to come to Congress to authorize any kind of military action by the U.S. with respect to what's going on with Israel and Iran. So we'll talk about that with him on Sunday and about whether he is getting any bipartisan support on that conversation. Yeah, and another topic regarding the use of National Guard troops in California. It looks like the latest court decision has sided with President Trump. Yeah, and this was an appellate panel, 2 Republican appointees, a Democrat appointee. They were unanimous on this, saying essentially they think the White House, the president, has made a good showing that he ultimately would succeed on this question of whether, as commander-in-chief, he could deploy or authorize this deployment of National Guard troops in the middle of what was happening in California, even if the governor didn't want to agree with that or request it. So now we wait to see whether Governor Newsom appeals that to the Supreme Court here in Washington, where we get opinions again, 10 a.m. Eastern this morning. And next week they close out with the very biggest that we're waiting on. And what else do you have on tap for Sunday morning? So we are actually going to be live at the U.S. Supreme Court. Another one of our guests is Senator Mike Lee, who, by the way, is on President Trump's shortlist, or has been, for Supreme Court justice should there be an opening. And we'll talk about that really big decision we're awaiting is on nationwide injunctions. Can a single federal district judge, there's some 700 roughly of them across the country, can that one judge shut down a law, an executive order, or policy for the entire country? It's the biggest case of this term, and we're waiting to see what the Supreme Court has to say. All right, looking forward to it. Shannon, we'll see you then. See you Sunday. Fox News Sunday with Shannon Bream airs right here on Fox 4 Sunday morning at 8 a.m. And right now...